welcome to Passion Time. I'm here with the award-winning filmmaker from Houston, Michelle Mower. She's done The Preacher's Daughter, The Preacher's Mistress, Preacher this, Preacher that. They're all successful films in Lifetime, and she just started her own sales and distribution company. But today we're going to talk about something really important, and that is SWAMP, the Southwest Alternate Media Project. Why? Because they have been doing great work for filmmakers for, 30 years now?
Almost 40.
Almost 40 years.
Almost 40 years.
And she's going to tell you why, if you want to be a filmmaker or a videographer or a storyteller, you should join. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Passion Time. And first I want to start the question we ask everyone over and over, and that is, how did you find your passion? How are you living your passion?
Well, for me, it's, obviously being able to write, produce, direct films is something that I dreamed about from early childhood, and to be able to actually do that for a living is pretty incredible. So, I wake up every morning, I'm like, okay, what do I have to do today? Do I have to write this screenplay, or do I have to work on this treatment, or do I have to, and it's like, I have the coolest life ever, because I get to have to figure out which creative project I get to focus on that day. Right. And honestly, none of that would have happened. I wouldn't be where I am today doing what I'm doing if it weren't for the wonderful work that SWAMP, Southwest Alternate Media Project, has been doing for 40 plus years. I was really fortunate that I was able to go to work for them. I was a member before, but shortly after becoming a member, there was an opening for a position as a program coordinator. Okay. And so I sent in my resume, and I was hired for this position. It was really the coolest job ever, especially for an up-and-coming filmmaker, because my job literally was to program workshops to teach people how to make films. It's like jackpot job, right?
Right, and you learn as you teach, yeah.
That's exactly right, and so that's what I did for 8 years. I oversaw all of their educational programs, their workshops, professional development classes, master classes, after-school programs for kids. I started the summer teen camps. So every summer, teenagers get together, and in the course of a week, they write, shoot, and they write, produce, and edit a short film. That's and awesome. So we just had a documentary camp last week, and then at the end of July, the last week of July, I think the 25th through the 29th, we have 2 narrative camps. So the kids will write a screenplay, they'll shoot it, and then by the end of the week they'll edit it together, and then that last night they actually have a big screening where they show the films to their parents and friends. What's
interesting though about SWAMP also is that you're helping people connect with people in the film industry outside of Houston. Mm-hmm. And as you've told me before, to really succeed big time, you have to go to Hollywood, you have to go to New York, and in this case, you're making connections with some of these people through SWAMP. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's what's so interesting about the world today is you don't actually have to live in LA or New York to be able to work in this industry, because we have the technology, we have the internet. We can actually create and get our work to a mass audience in a matter of we don't necessarily have to go through Hollywood anymore to do that. But if you really want to get your film out there, give it the prominence to where people are seeking out your production. So you being out there trying to find an audience to come to your film, you put your film out there and let if to get the level of attention you would need for people to seek out your movie. You do need to go through Hollywood. You do need to go through the film festival circuit. You need to go through that, because it's right now it's a needle. Everybody and their cousins making movies. It's kind of a needle in a haystack, right?
Yes.
So there is an advantage to independent filmmakers for working through a little bit through the Hollywood system, like I did with my Lifetime films, to really maximize your film's exposure to the global marketplace. Right. And so SWAMP can help with that. We do an annual Business of Film conference, which is going to be this year, September the 18th and 19th, I think. Okay. You can go to swamp.org. It'll give you all the information there. Mm-hmm. But what's so great about this conference is a two-day event, and we do a series of panels and discussions and breakout sessions, all tied into, all addressing the business side of making movies,
which is so essential.
It is. It's essential. I mean, you can make an incredible film with amazing cast, and and beautifully shot and have all the creative elements in place, and it could just be just, you know, brilliant. If you don't understand the business side of how to get that film into the marketplace, it's for nothing.
You
It's
know,
all
and I'm
for
glad
nothing,
you
right?
mentioned that, because I attended your film conference, and I plan to attend every year. What is interesting is that people who tend to be creative are not thinking about how to make a living
That's
and
right.
make money.
That's right.
And so you do have to balance that out the whole time you're in the and that,
Yeah.
you know, as someone who always did things creatively and didn't think about that, I'm paying a price for it. So I really suggest to people who are filmmakers to definitely attend the Swamp conference. And you have some really top-notch people coming from all over the
Speakers, yeah.
country
Yeah.
to coach. Now tell me,
Yeah, last year we always have a keynote speaker. Last year we had Lewis Black, who's the
Austin,
co-founder of South by Southwest and Austin Chronicle. The year before that we had Ted Hope was our keynote speaker. He's the head of Amazon Studios, so he wasn't at the time, but he is now. And you know, this is the level of industry professionals that Swamp's bringing to Houston to specifically meet Houston independent filmmakers and to teach them about what they know about the industry and what they know about the filmmaking process that will allow them to take their films to that next level. So it's not just them making a movie for their friends and family. They're making a movie for a global audience. And filmmakers have to think about that. You know, like you said, a lot of them just think about the creative side and they aren't really focusing so much on the business side. And that's why many of those films never actually make it into the marketplace. If those filmmakers are thinking about the business side and who their audience is and how they're going to get their film to that audience from the get-go, from the very beginning, even the screenwriting phase, then they're going to exponentially increase their chances of getting that film sold and getting it out to a wider, that global audience.
Another important thing that Swamp can do, and that I'm looking into, is you help people get grants, or you help people write for grants, and you also co-produce with people. Let's say someone who doesn't have a lot of experience in that the business aspect, you can team up with Swamp and work together to make something happen.
Well, yes. Yes and no. What we do is we offer what's called a fiscal sponsorship program.
Okay.
So we're a nonprofit, and there are a lot of films that are like documentaries or short films or experimental films and occasionally narratives that, you know, they just don't have a huge marketplace for these films. They just, you know, a lot of them get on maybe PBS, but otherwise there's just very few opportunities for these films to really get out into the like theaters, say. And so what Swamp can do is we can work with the filmmakers to help them raise money, because those films sometimes are hard to get investors to invest in, since there's not a huge market for them. What Swamp can do is we can partner with them, become their fiscal sponsor. They can raise money under our nonprofit umbrella through, you know, individuals, through charitable organizations and foundations, through even corporations. A lot of corporations have foundations that they support, you know, the arts, or they support, you know, anything that's, you know, a lot of times these films have social causes, for instance, and if there's a corporation that's interested in funding,
you'll know about it,
you know,
because you have
funding
experience.
a project, say on you know, human trafficking, for instance. So if there's a corporation who's interested in funding projects that are working to eliminate human trafficking, and we have a film about human trafficking, well, maybe that corporation would contribute to that film because that's something that's in their, you know, sort of in their interest of funding. So it just opens up a whole world of funding to filmmakers that would not be open to them otherwise. And so the filmmakers actually write the grants. We can work with them and guide them through that process.
You guide them. Of
But
course,
they
they have to
actually
do the work.
They actually write the grants. We don't actually produce the films, though. They produce the films, and we're acting as their fiscal agent. Earlier, you know, filmmakers make films to be seen, and what Swamp can do is help those, especially short filmmakers, where there's like no other outlets for them other than maybe YouTube, to get their work out to a broader audience, and it's such a unique opportunity. So you know, if you support independent film, especially short filmmakers, then definitely look us up, swamp.org.
I'm Patricia Gras. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Passion Time.
sé que tú puedes, que tú eres capaz.
Cambia tu vida,
La vida es una y tú vas a triunfar.
cambia tu vida.
Con fe y esperanza, las puertas